Hi, and welcome to the Ciclovia Intersection Volunteer Training for the event happening on Sunday, April 19th, 2015. My name is Kylie Walzak, and I am the Cyclovia Tucson Event Coordinator. I'll be walking you through an overview of the responsibilities of a Cyclovia Tucson Intersection volunteer. Rebecca Zapian is our Ciclovia Volunteer Coordinator. If you haven't already received an email from Rebecca with your volunteer assignment, you'll receive that shortly. First, before we get started, thank you for volunteering for Ciclovia. Hundreds of volunteers and thousands of hours of donated time make these events possible. We couldn't make this event happen without your support, so thank you. If you've never been to Ciclovia before, you've been missing out. Ciclovia in Tucson is part of an international movement called Open Streets that encourages people of all ages and abilities to get out of their cars and out on the streets to walk, skate, jog, dance, roll, ride, and just play on car-free streets for a day. This is our 6th year and 8th event, and Ciclovia is proving to make lasting changes in people's travel behavior and is definitely improving the connectivity between neighbors, neighborhoods, business and entertainment districts, and increasing the rate at which people are opting to use active transportation to get where they want and need to go safely. Why is this important? Because we live in a society where our transportation choices are dominated by the vehicle, and there are a lot of consequences to that. People don't get enough exercise, cars cause traffic congestion and pollution, and we rarely take the time to get to know our neighbors or the local businesses that make our city unique. Ciclovia is a chance to change all that by inviting people to explore new neighborhoods, discover new businesses, try out biking or walking for transportation, learn about history and architecture, try new foods, and just slow down for a day and take in our beautiful surroundings. So before we get started with your training, a big thank you for making this special day possible for thousands of people from across Tucson. Ciclovia Tucson is a program of Living Streets Alliance, Tucson's member-supported nonprofit organization improving access for healthy modes of transportation in the region through outreach, education, encouragement, advocacy, and research. By becoming a member of Living Streets Alliance, you are supporting the work we do year-round to make our streets safe, friendly, comfortable, and attractive places to be, not just during Ciclovia, but every day. As an intersection volunteer, your top 3 priorities are: number 1, to monitor the route and make sure it is a safe place for all participants. Number 2, to detour vehicle traffic around the route. Number 3, to assist residents who live along the route and need to get out or into their homes in a vehicle. What to expect the day of the event. You have signed up to be an intersection volunteer for a half-day shift. If you have been assigned a morning shift, report to your information booth by 9:30 a.m. If you have been assigned an afternoon shift, report by 12 p.m. If you don't know your information booth, Rebecca will be sending everyone a spreadsheet with your intersection location and which info booth you should report to. Keep an eye out for this information and be sure to report to the right info booth the day of the event. If you don't report to the right booth, you may have to walk several blocks to get to the right one, and you might arrive late to your shift. So be sure to plan ahead and arrive at the right booth at the right time. Leave your car at home. Don't drive to Ciclovia. Walk, take the streetcar, or bike. If you must drive, know that there are parking restrictions in certain neighborhoods. Do not park in an area with parking restrictions. You will see the signs telling you that there are parking restrictions. If you park in these areas, you might get an expensive parking ticket. They do patrol these areas on Sundays. At the information booth, the volunteer coordinator will check you in and confirm contact information, give you your mint green Ciclovia volunteer t-shirt and a fluorescent safety vest if you would like one, hand you a stack of car detour maps which you will use to help reroute motorists away from the event, hand you some caution tape in case you need to use extra signage to block off parts of your intersection, explain how to assist a resident who needs to get in or out of their home in a car, give you the volunteer coordinator's phone number, explain the emergency protocol to you, and answer any questions you might have. After you've received your orientation from the volunteer coordinator, you will then walk, bike, skate, dance, jog, or roll your way to your intersection. Here's what to expect if you are a morning volunteer. You may need to move barricades into the intersection if you see them stacked up on one side of the street. Study your car detour maps and familiarize yourself with the nearest car crossings to you. These are clearly marked on the maps. Set up your chair, break out your hula hoop or your radio, and get ready to hoop and holler for participants as they slowly make their way along the route. What happens if a car approaches the intersection and wants to get through? If a car drives up to the intersection, walk up to the driver's side and ask them where they are trying to go. If they just want to get across the intersection, politely explain to them that they cannot cross the route at that street and they will need to turn around and head to the nearest car crossing, which is along the nearest major street. The motorists might have to go a couple blocks to the north or to the south, but they will be able to find a car crossing street not too far from where they are. Study your car detour map and be prepared to give directions in a part of town you may have never been to before. If they live in a residence located along the route, ask them first to consider parking on the side street. Politely explain that the event is only 5 hours long, or however many hours you have left, and that after 3 p.m. the barricades will be removed. If they insist on driving to their home, ask them to please wait until you can alert participants. Alert the participants along the route that a car is entering the road. Then instruct the driver to drive alongside you at a walking pace and actually walk with them to their residence. Drivers are not allowed to drive for multiple blocks. The goal is to get them off the route as quickly as possible. Remember that you get more flies with honey than vinegar. Some people will not be as happy as the thousands of people participating in Ciclovia. So we want to always remain positive, courteous, polite, helpful, and calm. People respond really well when you tell them that this will all be over soon. So try to remind them right away that this is an event that happens just once a year on this street and for only 5 hours. And it never hurts to let them know the event is free, fun, and open to everyone. You don't have to have a bike. You can walk and just enjoy breathing fresh air outdoors. If you ever feel threatened or in danger, call 911 and tell the police dispatch you are working the Ciclovia event and your location. Bathroom breaks. Be sure you know where the closest restrooms are located to you. Locate the restrooms on the event route map at the info booth before you go to your intersection. If you are not alone at your intersection, you can leave to use the restroom anytime. Just be sure to tell your fellow volunteers about your plans and when you plan to be back. If you are alone at your intersection, you can call the volunteer coordinator at your info booth and ask that someone take over your position while you take a break. If you spot a yellow shirt bike patrol, you can ask them to cover your intersection while you use the restroom. The bike patrol are there to help support you. Emergencies. If you see any situation that you think requires emergency assistance, dial 911 and tell them your location, what you are seeing, and that you are a volunteer for Ciclovia. Remain on the phone until the operator tells you it's okay to hang up. What might require emergency response? When you see a crime in progress, when you or another person is in immediate need of fire, police, or medical assistance, when you are a victim of a crime. What happens if someone near you has a minor, non-emergency injury? Keep the person calm and still. Do not move them. Call the info booth near you immediately and describe the situation to the volunteers there. Fill out an incident report form. Wait for the volunteer from the info booth, an EMT or police officer to arrive if one is needed. What to do if a child is separated from their parent. Ask the child or parent to describe the missing person. If they are upset, try to calm them. Due to the risk of allergies, do not offer the child anything to eat. You may offer them water to drink if you have it handy. Scan the area. Look for the missing person. Call the info booth and inform the volunteers there of your location and that you have a lost child or parent looking for a child. Describe the missing person. Wait for instructions from the information booth volunteer. If you have any questions or are unsure what to do in a situation, call the info booth volunteer coordinator first. Unless it is an emergency, then call 911. Most of all, remember that Ciclovia is fun, safe, and a welcoming event for everyone. In 6 years, we have had 0 major incidents, and we expect that trend to continue. Thank you for your help keeping everyone safe, happy, and healthy at Ciclovia. We couldn't do this without you. Lastly, remember to have fun, and once again, thank you so much.